Chicago cares more about that than anything else. Than anything. And this franchise, the Bears, who have the greatest team of all time, the 85 Bears, have never gotten quarterback right my entire life. I'm not from Chicago, but, in my entire life. But wait, the Bears are crazy about football. They're one of the original football franchises, and the 85 Bears never gotten the quarterback right. Jay Cutler's probably like the third best quarterback they've ever had in my lifetime. Jay Cutler. They've never gotten it right. And they're Super Bowl starved. Stephen A., if you win a Super Bowl in Chicago, oh my God, it's a whole new level of like the kind of icon you become in the American popular consciousness and the sports consciousness. And then from Deshaun Watson's point of view, so like that's a huge incentive for Watson, you would think. He could become an icon unlike other players who are playing today if he could become a champion in Chicago. From Chicago's point of view, obviously you want Deshaun Watson, you get quarterback right, but you also get to run back that draft where you messed it up with Trubisky. You passed on Watson. No, you get Deshaun Watson back. Stephen A., if they get Deshaun Watson, they put a few offensive line pieces together, that team would be ready to win now with that defense. It makes a whole lot of sense.
I love Chicago's defense. It's a damn shame that they've been subjected to Mitchell Trubisky and Nick Foles over the last season or two. You wish that they were better offensively because that defense is real. It's just that your offense does nothing for you, and ultimately you get tired from being overexposed, having to be on the field to cover for the mistakes that they make or the inefficiencies that they put forth, and as a result, the defense suffers. I get that. But you, Deshaun Watson, you can't be thinking about going to no damn Chicago. You can't be. Don't even think about it. He's got a no-trade clause. I mean, he's got a say in where the hell would you go. Listen, I like Allen Robinson. I do. David Montgomery is a 1,000-yard rusher. He's not a scrub. Tyreek Cohen, I'm a fan of his. Yep. All right, I get all of that. All right. These are not all world players, but they can ball. They can ball. They're respectable. It's too damn cold in Chicago to be going there, Max. Are you crazy? You can't be Deshaun Watson and go to the Windy City. What's wrong with y'all? Oh no.
Just thinking about Chicago.
I happen to know that Deshaun Watson watches me. He watches me on First Take. He watches me on Stephen A's World. He sees what I do. Listen, Deshaun Watson, do not think about going to Chicago. Max Kellerman, let me tell you something. Chicago is a marvelous city. I love Chicago. Chicago has been very, very good to me. I must admit, but I got to tell you something. That's from June to September. Come October, all the way through May. It's too damn cold. You can't have Deshaun Watson going there. I mean,
it's too hot in the summer.
At Soldiers Field, Max, this man can actually throw a football, and that bad boy might wave into the fans. The wind might take it right there. It might take it right to Lake Michigan. You don't know that. You can't be in that kind of situation. You can't expose yourself to that, especially when you got options like Miami, potentially, San Francisco, potentially, even though that cold weather coming out of the Bay in the Pacific Ocean ain't no joke either. Plus, you got great whites and all of that stuff in there, but that's a different subject for another day. I'm just saying. I'm thinking about New York, media capital of the world. I'm thinking about Miami. Miami's number one. That's the number one option. You can't have options like that or Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco with George Kittle and Deebo Samuels and those boys and decide to go to the Windy City. He can't do that.
If you
stay
go
the hell away from Chicago,
San Francisco's more ready to win.
You're a quarterback. Stay the hell away from Chicago.
San Francisco's more ready to win. No argument there. And it's an excellent spot for Deshaun if he winds up there. No one can compete with Miami. Miami, no state income tax, warm weather, team that's ready to win, et cetera. Miami wins that.
Worried about the weather and this and that. How about winning football games?
If you want to be an icon,
we gotta
unlike anyone else, go to Chicago, win a Super Bowl.
You want to be an icon? You win rings.
This is the UConn.
LA gets crushed by the Jazz, fellas. We'll ask Big Perk. Yeah, UConn, we win lots of rings. You know, Mel Kiper Jr., he's got great hair and analysis. He has a 2021 mock draft hot off the presses, and this is what really caught my eye. He has the Jets and Falcons making a deal with Atlanta trading up to get a quarterback at number 2. That would be Zach Wilson. Well, the Jets sticking with Sam Darnold, and that's where I want to start with our draft guru, Mel Kiper Jr. Mel, good morning.
Good morning, Molly.
All right, Mel, talk to me about the Jets going in a different direction other than quarterback in Atlanta, potentially moving up from Matt Ryan. This is juicy, Mel.
Yeah. It is, and it's still all the Deshaun Watson talk out there, so things could be affected in that top 10 by any trades that do take place. But if I'm the Jets, I'm sticking with Sam Darnold. I'm not making that's what I call it, a sideways move to a Zach Wilson. I'm going to draft somebody, and by moving down, it can help Sam Darnold. He hasn't had any of that. He hasn't had a Kyle Pitts, a great tight end you can move around and give him a tremendous weapon, help out a young kid like Denzel Mims out of Baylor, second-round pick last year, who looked really good at times. So I think when you look at the supporting cast that Sam's had, it's been bad. And now it can be a lot better with Kyle Pitts. You have a lot of draft choices the Jets do to be able to fix the offensive line, get a wide receiver to help out Pitts as well, add a running back, get a pass rusher, get a corner. A lot of areas that Joe Douglas, GM, has to fix and get better. And a great starting point would be Kyle Pitts, like I say, to help out Sam Darnold.
I understand that, Mel Kiper Jr., and far be it for me to question your greatness, your expertise. You know I don't like to do that, at least not on weekdays. I like to call into your show on Saturdays to do that. But listen, Kyle Pitts, I like him. He could ball. I like what he did a little bit. But what I'm saying to you is this, Mel Kiper. If you're the New York Jets, you're trying to tell me you pass up a quarterback at number 2 to get a tight end? Come on, Mel. That doesn't seem to make any sense, Mel Kiper. It doesn't.
Zach Wilson is all of a sudden John Elway. Zach had one great year, and I like Zach. But let's face it, Sam Darnold a few years ago was being talked like he was going to be a great quarterback, and everybody was destroying Josh Allen. And Sam Darnold was the one that was going to be spectacular. And no criticism of Sam. Sam had no chance. Okay, he's had to deal with the mono, other issues with the shoulder, and a terrible supporting cast in a division where Josh Allen really emerged because they handled him properly and they developed